we got a call. And the call said, I need a way to put 2 tourniquets and a bandage on a dog, and bonus points for chest seal. So this is the actual harness that they are using, and they overnighted it, or they ordered one and overnighted it to us. So we got this today, and we're playing around with a few different ways to do this, and we're pretty close right here. But the zippers stutter, right? And if you actually have to pull these out, chances are that dog's going to be a little panicked when that happens. So I think we're going to take this same pouch here and just make it a little taller so there's a little more room. And then we're going to make it mount up on this webbing here. So we're going to take this right here, which I have patterns for, and then we're going to make it 2 inches taller. So that's what we're going to do right here. These are the contents. We're going to put 2 rats tourniquets in there, and we're going to put a 4-inch Izzy in there, and then behind that hyphen chest seal will sit in there. It's a little compact, kind of like a half a chest seal. And if push comes to shove, you could use that as your chest seal if you had some tape with you. So, like everything in here, we know we have 4,000 Sharpies. I cannot identify where the Sharpie currently is, so I'll go get a Sharpie. And we're back with the Sharpie. We're not going to build this one out of mesh, though. We're going to put this solid on the face. So we just need 2 of these. And then we need 1 of this. The first thing you're going to do there's that. And we've recently gone away from using the 1-inch. Actually, I shouldn't even tell them that. We need 1-inch web, 10.5. We're going to go 10.5. 10.5 by 2, and we need 2 pieces. I'm looking for my mark, and it's on a dark mark on the pattern here. There it is. We've used all kinds of scissors, and what I find now, scissors that I've used for 20 years, I buy the same scissor, same package, same model number, but they've added this ergonomic bullshit in here, and I physically have to pull them off of my hands. These ones have giant openings, and I don't have to pull them off of my hands. And then they've got these Goonie Bird looking things, but they actually work pretty well. So go ahead and slice this. Man, that almost seems too easy. Seems like there has to be more than that. Oh, you know why this is too easy? Because I didn't add the extra size into this pattern. All right, start all of that shit over again. We're going to add 2 inches into this. Are you ready for Thanksgiving?
Not really.
Are you going to have a lot of pie?
A lot of macaroni.
Really?
Pretty much all I eat.
Are you going to eat like an asshole?
Probably.
I saw Swinney post a video about Thanksgiving's coming, so just don't eat like an asshole and you'll be fine.
I eat like an asshole every day.
All right, so if we added 2 inches in there, we need to add 4 inches there. So these need to go from 10.5 to 14.5. Right?
Maybe.
I ain't trying to be the best at exercising. What did I say those were? 2? 10.5 by 2, 10.5, 14.5 by 2. Yeah, so we'll go 2, 2, 2, 2. How now, brown cow?
I had a pint of ice cream last week.
Hit a pint of ice cream?
Yeah. But it was Halo Top, so
Oh, that's disgusting. Why not just eat real ice cream?
it was 2,000 calories per pint.
In Halo?
No, Halo Top's only 300.
Yeah, but every time you took a bite of the Halo, you're like, this is ice cream, but it's not as good as real ice cream.
Chocolate's pretty good.
No, nobody likes chocolate ice cream. People get, you can be in prison and still get chocolate ice cream.
I feel like I'd like prison food though.
I feel like you would like prison food. County jail food. Okay, so 2 inches bigger. We did that one. We did that one. Wait, I wasn't going to make those bigger. I was going to make this bigger. All right, so back to these two. Man, you make this really difficult when you're here. All right.
I think we make it difficult when we're changing patterns on the fly.
I should have taken the 5 minutes and cut this motherfucker when the camera wasn't here. All right, we'll go this way. So we're going to make this 4 inches longer because I don't want that giant ass zipper piece where the shit can fall out when they end. Because if they open this, a lot of times it's going to be under stress. So there. We're going to make the bottom and sides. We're going to make the sides a little taller, not the zipper part.
Also, this gives all the little guys hope.
What's that? Because I fucked it up.
Yeah, so they're like, maybe I can do it.
Oh, they can definitely do it. They just have this perception that there's some magic to this. Is that right? That's right. These two long? Yeah, these are the long ones. These are the short ones. Those are the long ones. Okay, we're going to go with these and this. Because you can get with this or you can get with that. All right, we need some zipper. Let's get some zipper.
I didn't do shit.
You don't have naked girls in your dreams?
That's what I told them. I said, usually when people are dreaming of me, it's perversions.
All right, let's add what is this, 5? 5. So we're going to do 4 pieces of webbing, all touching. This will let them move it, so they might be able to use it on a different harness also. This and this and this. And I guess we'll take this too.
Yep.
Remember last week when it was 105 degrees?
Yeah.
Now it's 50.
If that.
If that, you're right, if that. All right. Okay, we're gonna make our zipper lips out of this Cordura instead of webbing. Folds a little nicer. This is actually a little more labor to do it this way, but the pockets have been coming out really nice. Are you going Black Friday shopping?
No.
You're not? Cyber Monday shopping?
Probably.
What are you going to Monday shop for?
I need a new couch.
You need a couch? I'll give you a couch. What kind of couch you want?
I don't know yet. Just need a new one.
Do you want a black casting couch?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Cheap.
Mine's pretty nice. It's hard European leather. It's done a lot of casting.
I'm about to say, emphasis on the hard.
The hard. I need a ruler. Let me get my ruler. It's my favorite green ruler. I've had it for 87 years.
It's an antiquity.
Antiquity. Apparently an antique now is, classic is over 25 years, antique is 50. I thought antique used to be 100 to be a true antique. What are we at, 7.5? How do we want to center this?
So I'm over 25, I'm a classic?
How big of a couch you want? How big is your entire apartment? 20 feet long?
I don't know.
Those gray couches up there, is your house bigger than the couch? Probably.
Yeah,
But you're moving into a school bus.
I want to.
Do you really want to, or you just want to talk about it?
I'm pretty good with
School buses? You're
Yeah.
pretty good on school buses?
I'm good with school buses.
Good at doing like school bus type stuff?
I've got my best sleep on school buses. So.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Lose your virginity on a school bus?
No, I was in a church.
In church. Mine was in the canyon on a dirty piece of plywood.
It's about the same.
All right, let's go ahead and put this webbing here on here. Let's burn this first. What do you say? Do you like to burn things?
I do not. I don't play with fire.
I caught the whole fence on fire in Navy housing. A lot of it, like fire trucks had to come.
Why does it surprise me that you're kind of a pyro? when
Not
you're a
anymore.
kid?
Not anymore. I have a whole. I haven't burnt anything in 2 years here, and I've needed to. I just keep putting it off.
I think young John Noah was.
I want him to see it from space when we do it. Right? Do it right. How do we want to go here? Let's go like this. I had some gray thread on here last night, and it was tensioning kind of weird, so I'm going to dial this tension down a little. Huh?
What does that do to it?
If the tension, if this is tight here, it's pulling this up from the bottom. You want your tension equal, but if it's doing weird shit, then if your stitches are loose on the bottom, then you need to add tension to the top. It's usually wherever the problem is, it's usually the opposite that's actually the problem.
So when the needle's throwing up, it's not got enough tension to pull it tight on the up?
It's the lock of it. So if you've got your thread wound weird in the bobbin and it's just not pulling it up equal, you want the thread to pull up and then back down, and you want them to basically lock in the center, not on top, not on bottom, but in the middle of the material. It's like a good way to put it is when you look at the bag of dog food and it's just that straight line across, but it's got all the loops.
Yeah.
And then it's like that. That's kind of an easy way to. Did you see, did Jeff send you the link to that abandoned college campus? Remember a year ago we were looking at that one? It used to be a Japanese.
Sweetwater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so some people went through there. And there were some crazy comments. Dude's like, man, I almost got shot. There's a bunch of homeless people. And I'm thinking, there's no roof on there. Like, there's very little left to it. Like, people were putting up all kinds of photos. And I'm like, a tornado hit that place.
Yeah,
like,
the
that,
pool's
those
like
pictures,
crushed.
the pictures you guys are putting up are from a decade ago.
Yeah.
People are so full of shit. Anyways, I'm like, you know, we can go to that if you want. And Jeff's like, yeah, let's go. We could just rent it out actually, because they're renting it out as like movie location. So we could just pay them and do whatever we want there. Or we could just hop the fence and do whatever we want there. So those lines on the sides I didn't need to tack down. I'm actually going to sew this, but for now. And now I'm going to go through and we're going to put these on here, just like so. Are they long enough? Yeah, I made the zipper way longer than I need it to be. And they make attachments and feet to do this with and guides and all kinds of shit, but if you're learning how to sew this stuff and you're waiting on a guide or a foot or some bullshit, just start sewing it, man. Don't wait for some parts or to be able to afford an attachment. Like you'll be surprised to find out that I don't own any of that stuff. We just out of necessity built it and got better and better at building it. We don't have any of that stuff that I would consider to be a crutch. It's also probably why our shit looks like human beings made it. I look at some stuff and I'm like, man, I don't think I could duplicate that. It looks like a robot built that stuff.
I didn't even realize a robot.
A robot built that shit, yeah. A Japanese biological robot. That's what they called the expediters at Chernobyl. They called them biological robots. They all died, by the way. Now, you could have done this with a double needle machine in one pass, but I don't have a double needle machine, so. You'll hear dudes like, man, you gotta have a bar tacker, you gotta get this, you gotta get that. Man, there's never been a piece of SOE gear put out with a bar tack in it. If you have a piece of SOE gear that has a bar tack, it's fake. It's not real SOE gear. Let's hope this oh, that's another thing. When you do your zipper pieces, put your zipper pulls on. I was about to build this and put it all together with no zipper pulls. I have a lot of gear sitting in the trash cans. If I'm not going to fix it right then, I'll actually take that gear and just cut it into pieces, because I'll think about it and I'll go get it out of the trash and I'm like, maybe I'll fix this later. And I never fix shit later. So. See that? You can cut that off. Actually, we will cut this off because I'm not doing a double piece to conceal it. We actually will cut that off because we're going to edge tape this here in a second. What are you filming? About 100 frames a second? You'll be able to slow that down so they can kind of see it?
7,000 so I can really see it.
Slow it down to 7,000?
Well, I'm filming at 7,000.
You're filming at 7. What are you really filming at?
60.
60,000 frames a second?
60 frames per second.
60 frames per second.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I buy that. You picking up what I'm putting down?
Okay,
All right, we need some edge tape. If you don't have a binder, you can just fold your edge tape in half. I did that for years. I actually sewed probably the first 3 or 4 entire years, not knowing that an edge tape or binder attachment existed. We would take the edge tape and just crease it across the edge of the table, and then the edge of the table got so worn down that it wasn't really sharp anymore. So I was using other tables and just edges of metal and stuff that were in the garage. Not sure what the fold over on these is. I think we'll just do them like that. Are you mumbling to yourself?
A little bit.
Okay, we're going to dock these corners. And we're going to dock these corners 1 inch. We're going to ask to one song and one song only. We're going to go 1 inch, 1 inch. Now, you would make a jig if you're going to do a bunch of these. You're not going to make, 8 marks on all of these, especially if you're doing a bunch of them. This is the first one, so we're sitting here doing this, but we would make a template that has little marks on this, and I'll show you what we're doing here. We're going to round these corners where the zipper track follows. It just makes it unzip smoother, gives it less bulk to stutter on by cutting these corners out of here. And just like that. And now we're just going to take a cone of thread, and we're going to go from 1 inch to 1 inch there. And we're going to round, we're going to get that radius right on there. And if you do all of your corners like this, you'll just use the same thing as your gauge. You're going to make a template or whatever, or you'll build it into your pattern if you actually end up making a pattern when you make a pattern. And you will notice that even though this is curved, you could almost just dock it and get the same effect. Just like that. And this is a lot right here, just to find out if this is even going to work. We might put all this together and it doesn't even function. We have to do a second or a third one. Okay, we know where center here is. We know that these two templates are the same, patterns So we can use that as a gauge and mark that one off of the other one. So we don't have to measure it. We know those are top dead center. And we know that if we fold this in half, this is top center, and that's the important part, is the top center on this pocket anyways. So if we get any stretch or bulk or any extra, we can put that pleat into the bottom or to the sides. So we're going to put the top here on first, kind of across, and then we're going to line up the bottom. And we're going to mush any excess into the sides and make our little pleats in the same place on the pouch. Am I doing this correct? Do I want this seam? Yeah, I want this inside. I know somebody listens to this, they're like, what in the fuck is he mumbling about? Oh, you understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
Are you just saying that?
But I hear you a lot, so I get it.
It doesn't matter what I said, it only matters what you heard. Doesn't matter what you say, it only matters what the jury heard. When she takes you to the family's house for the first Thanksgiving, it only matters what her dad heard. Should have marked the bottom, so I knew where the center on the bottom was. Center on the bottom should be where the butthole is, but what if her butthole's crooked?
Can the butthole be crooked?
Hey, come on. Can half the shit we've seen happen in the last 3 years happen?
A crooked butthole be the worst, or
The least of our problems. See what I'm talking about? I've got all this excess material right here. We're going to just pleat this right up into there. We're going to make it right there. And what this tells me is I'm going to have an equal amount on the other side. And this pleat folds over, where's my ruler? This pleat folds over ½ inch, so 1 inch. I could take 2 inches off of this pattern right here. We'll go ahead and unstitch this right here so I can make that pleat in the same place. Not that it would really matter, but you guys watching this, you'll understand this. Well, one of you won't. If you're trying to follow along and you're not really sure what's going on here, when you're sewing these, don't look at the entire project as the work. Look at it as just a couple inches at a time when you're sewing it. And if you're worried about it clocking or whatever, what I did was I sewed in the top here first and the bottom, so we know that that's top dead center and top bottom center. And then we can come from here around and then here around, and I've got extra material in here, and this is basically what I have here. And that extra material came from cutting these corners off, which I didn't allow for, I didn't adjust for. So, not a big deal. The function is still going to be the same, but if we actually make final patterns for this, we will take 2 inches of material out of this thing when we build the final patterns. But we're pretty close here. It's fitting, it looks good. I still have no idea whether it's going to fit. The way the math is, when we build a new pocket to hold a new item or a group of items, what works on paper is almost never what you need it to be. And I'm sure there's some program or some dude with a mechanical engineering or a fabric. What is that noise? You hear that? Oh, I bet that's what it is. Who's taken a design, textiles design class or something, probably knows exactly how to do this. And I'm sure I could figure that out, but it's way faster to just build it wrong the first time and then come back and correct it. And if it's not faster for you, that's only because you're not making enough money with your time. Dude's out there shooting turkeys for their Thanksgiving dinner. That is a miserable turkey. These turkeys around here. I guess we didn't have turkeys here until like 1990s. They released a bunch of turkeys and they've done pretty well. Yeah, a lot of them. Rockefeller, not the Vanderbilt, Rockefeller. The story is that as a young child, he followed a turkey, a mother hen, into the woods and stole a couple of her babies and then sold them. And then he continued to follow turkeys into the woods and would get their eggs and hatch them out somehow and sell baby turkeys. And that's where young Rockefeller made his very first money as a child. Not really stealing. Most of them baby turkeys were going to die anyways. Predators would have ate them or whatever. And then it was kerosene, because whales were becoming hard to get for lamp oil. So kerosene, and then that turned into fuel. And then he started doing deals with the railroad so that his competitors had to move all their oil on the railroad that he controlled. Monopoly. He had a monopoly. And then the government came in and tried to deregulate him. A few other things happened in between there, but all started with stealing turkey eggs. All right, it is sewn together enough that we can now turn it and see that it is either perfect or it is completely askew. I'm going with perfect.
All work.
What do you think? Perfect? And then if it works how we want it, we will edge tape it. See, the math says that this is the pouch we need, but I feel like this pouch is much larger than we need it to be. I'll be right back. We did the final guesstimation on the back table back there. So we need this. We're going to put this aluminum part down on both sides, like that. Yeah, that motherfucker's it's way bigger than it needs to be. And it does not have it shaped very well. Yeah, it's way bigger than it needs to be. We could put 3 dressings in this thing. That's the difficulty is getting, well, they are about the same. We just made them I mean, not me, it was your fault, but you were the one that's like, yeah, let's just take this and make it taller. See, it works there, but you have this thing, and none of them are the same height. So maybe we do go back to 3 individual cells, 3 pockets. Because this is what we need. Boom, boom, boom. And this is what we did, trying to make it flatter, but maybe we do just do it like that. You never really know until you build it.
So what would the remedy be on a pattern?
Probably take an inch off of here height-wise. And how does this lace up once we have the webbing on there? We'll probably put a stick this way and a stick this way. Stagger them up, down, up, down. But it is pretty bulky. We'll go bottom blank one. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, see, we can get rid of at least yeah, it's way bigger than it needs to be. Just based on that, I think we could take, and because we got these that are gonna let it compensate, so we could take an inch off of here, but if we take an inch off, it's not gonna lace on there very well. And then we could pull at least 2 inches out of here. Yeah, we'll rebuild this. It's probably going to take a couple more times. All right, so that's how you, well, that's how I don't know that this was any tutorial at all. And say that again, I don't know that this was any tutorial at all, and I don't know that this was of any benefit to anybody that watched this, but that is how I do an initial layout, you know, to initially figure this out. And I'm not so sure that the zipper is the most compact way to do this. I was trying not to have individual lids or whatever on these. So, I don't know. We're going to try it a couple more times. And that's it. Turn that shit off.